Hey guys, I hope you all are having a great day today. I have a little bit of like a message or a devotional to share with you today. I hope that it can encourage you or give you some insight or something to just help you through situations that you may be going through. And serve as a backdrop to this message, I'd just like to kind of share a little bit of a story. And so the story goes back to the time when I was at Walmart, and I was at a Walmart that I wasn't very familiar with or very well accustomed to, so I didn't really know how everything was arranged in the different aisles and everything. And I was looking for shampoo or body wash or something like that, and I've been walking around going to aisle, and I still couldn't find what I was looking for. And I think after about 10 or 15 minutes, my wife was like, "Hey Mark, why don't you go ask a store associate for help?" And at that moment, I think this is a problem for most guys, is, we take on this persona of, no, I've got everything handled. Like, I know how to figure this out. I can figure this out on my own. I think, even when it comes to, directions when we're driving, or like a manual when we're trying to assemble something, we don't even want to look at that because we think that, we don't need it. We got it all handled. We got it figured out. And so to me, I was determined to find, this shampoo or whatever on my own. And I think navigating through life is a lot like that. As we go through life, and just by the nature of it, it's an ongoing learning process that takes a lifetime. So we're learning constantly. When we're learning, that means that we're facing things that we're not yet really familiar with or uncomfortable with. And so when we face things that we're like, whoa, I don't know how to handle this, or we come upon a situation where we're like, we need to lean on someone else's wisdom or something like that, I think those are times that we need to stop and ask for help. So why is asking for help so hard for us sometimes? I think it comes from a place of humility. Asking for help comes from a place of humility because it tells that person that we're asking help from that we don't have all the answers. We don't have everything figured out. We're not Superman, although we would like to think that we are. It's like we want to have all the solutions to something, but when we come up against a situation that we don't have a solution for, it opens up a vulnerability. It kind of exposes us to the rest of the world, or I guess in your immediate vicinity, that you don't have it all figured out. And sometimes that is quite humbling. And I think it should be a humbling experience. So I believe whether or not you can have something figured out, it's best to just ask for directions from the outset, from the get-go. And kind of like walking in a store, sometimes if you walk in a different store, or just like a lot of us know, stores rearrange things. I was getting frozen fruit, and I realized, wait, the frozen fruit should be right here, in the frozen section of the store. And it turns out that they moved the frozen fruit to a different section of the frozen section. So, stuff like that is, it's a little bit unpredictable. But even more unpredictable than walking around in a store and trying to navigate through that is life itself. So when it comes to driving directions, when it comes to assembling things, or when it comes to spiritual things, go to someone who knows how to do those things, correctly, or has some wisdom to share with you, has had more life experience, who is knowledgeable about these subjects, especially when it comes to spiritual things. Search for someone who's a mentor who can help you grow in that area. And I think having those people in your life is essential to growing as a person, because, the more you ask for help. I remember going through high school, and I was okay at math, but I wasn't anything great. But I remember, I was kind of clueless a lot of the times in class, and even on the homework, and I would struggle, go for an hour trying to figure out a problem, and just one problem. And I remember that I would go in the mornings and then go ask the teacher, all right, can you show me how to do this problem step by step? And that's what helps me get through that situation, just solving these math problems. And so just like that, just like in asking for help in a store, or I think that principle translates so well into our lives. And, just being a minister at a church, when it comes to spiritual things as well, reach out to someone who may have something to say about whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with. And I think ultimately, pray, talk to the Creator who knows you better than you know yourself. Talk to the one who knows about everything more than anyone, more than the wisest people who have ever walked this earth. Ask for help and guidance from Him. If you're going through something or you can't really find where you're going or you can't really find a solution for, stop, take a minute, admit to yourself that you don't have everything figured out, and go to someone who does, whether that's a grandparent, a parent, a good friend, a mentor, or God. Stop and ask them for help.